guys, and welcome to my 76th video. Thank you so much for joining me if you are a return subscriber, or hello if you are new. My name's Adrina, I'm an Australian teacher and mum. Currently on a break at the moment, trying to figure out this whole teacherpreneur online space, selling my teaching resources and clip art on Teachers Pay Teachers and online. Now today's video is just a very brief breakdown of some of the new updates that have happened to the TPT marketplace. So since IXL, if you didn't know, a company called IXL acquired TPT. Since they have acquired TPT, there have been a few new changes. So I thought I would just go over them in this video just to keep you up to date and keep you up to speed, especially if you haven't had the chance to check your emails, because TPT of course does send out emails to you if you are a TPT author or seller. So if you haven't gotten around to checking them out, I'm just going to go over some of the new changes that have happened recently. So we are in the month of May at the moment. Today is May 5th here in Australia, and I'm just going to be going over some of the new improvements or new updates to TPT. Okay, so first update on the list is the search algorithm. So if you are a part of the TPT community, you should already know that since IXL have acquired TPT, they had a little review of the search algorithm and they come to the conclusion that they were going to officially turn that personalized search off. What we didn't know as sellers, at least I didn't know this, but what we didn't know in the previous leadership, that it was never disclosed, but the personalized search on TPT was actually a beta test. So they were doing a beta test of that search, and there's some things, if you look really into it, there's a few things that some people aren't happy with because it was like a younger company that they, I think, invested in and tried to do this whole search algorithm thing with the personalized search through them. And I'm not going to go into too much detail because I don't know all the details of it, but I know that there's some talk on that particular thing, and some of the bigger sellers have, called them out in a little way to say, like, what's going on here? This was not disclosed prior, and this is why for so long the search has just been basically messed up. But with IXL taking over now, they have actually officially decided to turn that search off. So now personalized search is officially gone. So they've rolled that back and we are back to the old way of search. Now I do want to say, with my two stores, just side note, when they actually turned the search off, I did notice personally myself increase in sales within my first store, the Creative Table. I definitely noticed in my first store that it had made a difference when they did turn the search off. So that's just something from my personal experience I'm sharing with you guys. But yeah, that is now gone. I don't know in the future, like it wouldn't surprise me if they eventually do something as a personalized search thing, but I'm just kind of glad on a personal level that they have decided to not go ahead with this, because they've come in, they've seen that this search algorithm is not working, and they've obviously listened to the emails or what people have expressed to them about what was happening with the search algorithm. So that is just something to note. So you should most likely have already known that if you are a part of the community, but if you didn't, then that's a big thing to know that has happened. So now that we've discussed the search algorithm, the next update is actually a few changes to the TPT marketplace itself. So they sent out an email and they shared a little document showing all the new kind of updates that have happened now in the month of May, and they did say that there's a few more updates coming in the future too. So what I'm going to do, instead of trying to just read them out, I'm going to try and bring you over to my computer and actually show you some of the new updates, just so you can get an idea of what they've actually done, especially because there's a few new cool things that they have added that you might want to know about. So let's go over to my computer and check out the new updates. Okay, hi guys, we are here on my computer. Now I'm just going to go over some of the new updates that TPT have released, just to show you guys and just to keep you guys up to date, just in case you haven't, of course, had the chance to read through the actual email that they sent out. So first of all, when you search in the search bar now, you will notice, let me just search Terrazzo. You will notice if I click enter to search my store name, I didn't even add clip art to it, but you'll see that they have now, when you search for a particular search term, they have now bolded, and they have, well, they haven't actually bolded it. They all seem bold, but they have actually highlighted the word in all of the text throughout the description. So you can see whatever you're searching for, that it has come up. I think this is actually a really good new update, because if you are searching for something in particular, you'll be able to see that it is featured in the actual description. So let me just type in something. For example, let's do like Mother's Day, since it's coming up to Mother's Day. Mother's Day flower card. So you can see when I've searched Mother's Day flower card, you've got the highlighted text, all of those keywords. So you can see in this description by Caffeine and Classy, they've got this highlighted Mother's Day flower and card. So they're all the keywords that I was looking for, and they have also got it here within the description. And you can see if you scroll down, it continues to highlight all the words that is featured within the title and within the description. And I think that's a good change, because it allows you to find what you're looking for a little bit easier and better, to know that those keywords are in those products. Now, the next update is, while you are in search, you can actually download a freebie from the search section instead of actually having to click on the actual resource. So I'm going to test this out. So let's just go and type in free clip art, for example. And you should be able to see in a moment. Oh, that's interesting. Free clip art, but they're coming up with all paid ones. Interesting. Okay. Here's one that's free. So we've got this free clip art and free bulletin board elements, distance learning decor by Krista Walden. That's come up here on the first page. So instead of actually having to click on the resource and then clicking download, you can actually now just download from the search page. So it will bring you to this kind of screen, and then it will begin the download. So it's actually opened it up in a completely different new tab from what I can see here. And then you can go back and continue scrolling. So that is a little bit different, because before you'd actually have to click on the actual resource, and then from the resource, that is where you would kind of have to download it. So this actually looks like a really good clip art set. Sorry, I digress, but I'm just going to say, so that is something that I know some people aren't going to be too happy about, because it may feel like if you were able to download it just from the search page, it may feel like if someone just downloads it, they won't actually click onto your store and have a browse of what other items that you have. So that could be, it's kind of like a pro and a con, because like I was mentioning before, you'd have to actually click onto it and then go to the store and then download. But a lot of people, whether they download it from clicking on it or not, some people might not actually go through your store anyway. They might just want that particular item for free, especially teachers low on time. But I can see how some people might be a little bit upset with this, because there's maybe less chance of someone actually going to your store by clicking on your product and then downloading it and then possibly going to your store more. It's a bit more like it's easy access. They can just download it and then scroll on. But what I can see is they have opened up all these new tabs, which I don't know if that used to do that. I can't remember if that used to do that for me when I used to download product. I don't think it did, but do not quote me on that. But that's just another new update. So now basically you can download when something comes up for free from the search bar, you can just download it from that page. It, of course, like I said, will open up a new tab like we've just seen, but you can download it from there without having to click on the actual resource. So that's something interesting to note. So the next update is kind of a more minor one, but it is just a nice little touch. It's more of, I guess, a want rather than a need, as I think personally, but it does make a nice little addition. So basically they've added fun new little animation. So when you wish list something, you'll see here, if I click wish list, that little flag kind of turned green and then it turned black, saying that's in your wish list. If I press it again, it just kind of turns white, but you'll see I press it one more time and you have that little green it'll fill up with green and then go black. And then again, like just take it off, it goes white. So that is one of the fun little animations. They've also got when you choose to add something to cart. If I add this to cart, this Ocean Animals Clip Art Bundle by Clipartino. If we add that to cart, you'll see that it has a little animation with a little tick here, and it's actually come up here, added to cart in this nice little bubble, so you've got a bigger preview of what you can actually see. Then you can choose to either check out, or you can actually just continue shopping and add more things to your cart. So they're just some fun little animations that they've basically added. So what I have noticed, however, is say if you didn't actually want that in your cart and you accidentally pressed add to cart or add one to cart, then it's a little bit harder to actually remove it from your cart. You actually have to click this and then it'll bring you to your screen, and then you actually have to go and actually physically remove it from here to take it out of your cart basically. So that's a little bit different, because I don't know if beforehand you could, if that did that, I actually can't really remember, but it makes it a little bit harder to remove something from your cart, which actually I guess can be a positive and a negative. But yeah, that's just something interesting to note, how they've added those little animations now to both add to cart and wish list. So another thing they have updated is the gift card section. So if you click on your little profile picture and then go down to gift cards, you'll see that they have updated the gift card section here. They've added this new kind of more modern TPT gift card look. And what you can do is you can actually change the amount from $25 all the way up to $500 to either gift to somebody, whatever the case, whatever you want to kind of do with that. One thing to keep in mind about the TPT gift cards, and they state it right here, and now for the finer details, Teachers Pay Teachers gift cards never expire. The gift card balance remains on the card and is not applied as a credit to your account. Discount codes can't be applied to gift card purchases, and gift cards can't be applied to PO purchases. So that's just something to keep in mind. Now I'm just trying to figure out, what does PO purchases mean? If anyone knows what PO purchases mean, please tell me, because I don't actually know that part. But anyway, they have actually updated that, so that's quite cool, and it goes all the way up to $500 now. So that's quite a good amount of money to have on a gift card for a teacher, or for someone that is like an educator wanting to shop TPT. So that's kind of cool. So another thing that they've updated too is if you go to your sales reports, I'm going to have to blur out some of this. So I'll blur out some of this due to privacy, but if you have a particular item that you want to search, you can type it up in the search bar here. And I've got something I've just copied and pasted from my store, like the title of one of my clip art sets. So I'll just show you can actually search it here now, and it will come up. Again, I'm going to blur some of this out so you can't see anyone's details due to privacy, just so you can kind of see the idea of this. But you can search up the particular product that you are looking for to see like how much you've made from that product and kind of when it has sold and all that kind of stuff. So that's really interesting, and that's really good to note, because they never were able to do that. So I think that's a very good update for a lot of us to, if we are wanting to know a bit more into the analytics side of things. So we're just back to the home page. Now the next update is, if you see up here, if you go to home, you'll see that they've actually reorganized this little section of TPT. So they've made it more intuitive, as they've said. They've put it in categories a little bit different to they were before. So I do kind of like how they've sectioned this off. You can see like store, analytics, communicate, grow store, and then at the bottom you've got your manage your virtual assistants. But I will say, I know there are some people that would probably agree with me to say, especially if you work on an iPad, for example, this dropping down the way it does can be a little bit annoying. I know when I was using it on my iPad, compared to, I think before it kind of went out a bit more horizontally. That horizontal look was a little bit better for me personally, only because, you know, when you are on the iPad and you're scrolling down, it's just a little bit easier, because it's like you have to kind of scroll down to kind of see a little bit. So it's just a minor thing. It's not a big deal, but I do like how they've sectioned these out a little bit better. But yeah, I think if they had done that and it was more horizontal, that would have been great. But still, I don't mind it. It's just a little bit annoying. But apart from that, like, I still like the way that they've sectioned these out. I just wish it was kind of more still horizontal. Alright, so I'm back here on the homepage. So the next update that they have released is actually something to do with the descriptions. So I'm just going to go to my store. I'm going to go to my store and I'm going to show you the new thing that they've included, which is actually quite cool. So if I just want to have a look at this bundle here, I'm going to edit my listing. And what they have now included is, if you want to section off any part of your description, you can do so by clicking this little button here. So when you click that, you can see how that line came about. So if you want to section certain parts of your description off, it does that with this little line. So that's really a good feature, because previously people would have to like press shift and do like that underline to like section off things. Like this, how I'm doing it takes ages, but you can kind of see that's how people used to section it off, and then you'd have to publish it to make sure that it wasn't all weird and wonky in the actual description. So I think that's a nice change to have that, and it's not too bold or in your face. It's quite subtle, which is really nice too. I mean, it maybe could have been a little bit darker, but besides, I think that's still a really nice update that they've added. Now, to just delete it, you can literally just press delete and it just goes away. But yeah, it's super easy. All you do is like literally just go up to here, that, and it just inserts that nice little divider between any parts of your description. So that is really cool. I actually really like that update. Okay, so another thing, I don't know if I'll be able to actually show you through here, but what they have said for the last update that I've got here for you guys is when we go to the note to followers, apparently now they are actually tracking you through UTM codes, or allowing UTM tracking for note to followers. So this is something that I can't really speak too well on, because I haven't really done all that much with UTM codes, if I'm being completely honest. So if you embed your resources using this tool here and add it to the node, when you do have a look at your traffic, it should come up, I'd imagine from what I understand, through traffic to say that it was clicked on through a note to followers. So that's quite a good thing, because it actually shows you that if you're sending a note to followers and you're getting traction from it, you'll now hopefully be able to see that in your traffic tab. So that's quite an exciting one too, especially if you are on the bandwagon of trying to do note to followers. So that's what I have gathered from that new update, and that I think is a nice one also. So overall, they are all the updates that I have to share with you guys based off the email that they sent out recently. I just know sometimes it can be a little bit easier for somebody to watch a video instead of going through all the emails and reading all the different things. So hopefully that gives you a little breakdown of what's new, what they have done so far, and it's actually quite exciting. I feel like there's some good energy being put behind TPT with this new change of leadership. I wasn't too sure how I was going to feel about it, but with this already, like with them turning off the search and with the new kind of good updates that are actually, I feel, quite beneficial. I mean, some of them could be debatable depending on how you view what you're doing with those things. For example, like the free download thing, but they are just kind of minor things. But overall, I feel like these updates have been good ones. So I'm happy about that. Excited to kind of see where IXL kind of takes TPT. I'm feeling like pretty optimistic really at this point. So I'm excited. I'm happy with that. I'm going to continue just doing me, and I just wanted to share that with you for anyone, like I said, that just didn't get around to looking at the email. And this is just going to be a shorter video than usual. So hopefully that just filled you in, and I'm going to meet you now in my talking head. Alrighties guys, thank you so much for taking the time to tune in to this TPT update. I really like some of these new changes. There are a few things like with the new drop down header that, because it's quite vertical, it does kind of get a little bit annoying when trying to scroll down, or if you're on an iPad as well, for example, which I do use a lot. So I like how they've categorized it and it is more easy to access, but I feel like maybe being it more horizontal would be good, but that doesn't matter, that's just my personal preference. A lot of these updates are really good and promising, and I feel like there is a new energy coming to TPT, and I think a lot of people are feeling that too. I feel like there's new things that are coming that are beneficial to sellers, so I'm grateful and happy about that. So we can only cross our fingers and hope that the next few updates too, or the future updates, are going to be good ones for both TPT and for us as the TPT sellers and authors. So thank you once again, wishing you health, wealth and happiness in your Teachers Pay Teachers journey and in life, and until then I will see you in my next video. Adios!